What is up, everybody? All the dreamers, how are you doing? I hope you are doing awesome. Welcome back to another episode of Mobius Final Fantasy with your boy, Robbie Dagger. And this, I am so proud to say that, and it's ironic, I'll get into it, that this is going to be the last 3-star video of the series, of the multiplayer series, because the 4 stars are coming out tonight, everybody. So I honestly was gonna wait a little bit, and then I saw that the 4-star videos were coming out, and then I was like, you know what, all my 3-star videos are gonna be worthless, but you know what, they're not really gonna be worthless. They're gonna be, still watchable for people who want to get through 3-star fights. So I figured, I didn't want to leave the series incomplete. And let's just do the final video. Let's get into the breaker roll. Let's really get into it. There's a lot I want to talk about because there's a lot to say on this, and a lot of these roll, tasks, these types of these videos that I've been making have been coming out to be like 2 videos long, and it's because there's just so much information. And there's a lot of input that I received that I'm so grateful for. I love the input that you guys give me because it really makes me think about things and what is the best possible setup. And I love to just talk about it with you guys because it's a lot of fun. But in this one, we're going to be looking at the breaker roll. And I'm particularly going to be looking at the assassin because I have the assassin 8-paneled. Right now, you guys, I am going through the crystal shortage of 2017. I have no crystals left. So, what I do want to say, so let me just speak on this really quick. So we are going to be, say we're fighting Shiva, Shiva 3-star Sicarius. Honestly, I want to say the better idea is for me as a breaker, is to bring a roll that can, use wind job, or wind cards. So I do think, honestly, that it's better to use your hunter, in this particular battle. If you have it 8-panel, and you're gonna be taking on Shiva, because Shiva is stunnable, everybody. Shiva is stunnable. And right now, as of now, we only have access to stun cards. We have access to tons of stuns, but they're all on the wind job. So that's why I say, bring your fire, your water, but also try to bring your wind, which really narrows it down to the hunter job. Or, I'm sorry, is this hunter job? Yeah, hunter job. But, you might be like me. You might not have it. You might have it, but it's not leveled up. I just don't have the crystal capacity, you guys. I don't have enough crystals to level it up. I've done a lot of jobs for these. I used all the crystals I had saved up since I started to do all these jobs for these guides. So leave me a thumbs up for that, please. If nothing else, because thank you very much for watching. If nothing else, also, I appreciate you spending some time with me. So that's why instead I'm going to be using the assassin. And the assassin doesn't have access to the wind at all. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that the break power is so high. Check out that break power. 1,125. We're going to be breaking all day. So here's what I went with for my cards. I personally like the look of the OG assassin. I just like the dark look. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here. I'm going to be bringing Azazel. It's my 4-star, card. It's not going to be doing more than the damage limit break. So it's going to be doing 9,999 at max damage. But here's the thing, y'all. If you're here as a breaker, then your job is to break. So don't be worrying about bringing cards that are going to maximize your damage, because your role really is to break. So be bringing cards that are going to be maximizing your break potential So that's why I went with the Azazel, because it lowers defense against break power. And not only is that helpful for you, but that's helpful for the rest of the party as well, because it just helps the rest of your party break, and that helps them kind of pick up where you left off, so to speak. And you do kind of want to break. You kind of want to break. You want to break as much as possible, to be honest, but you want to also break at the right times, like. Because if you break when you know that everybody just spent all their orbs, and you break on that next turn before everybody gets their orbs back, then you just wasted that break, basically. So sometimes it's important to like hold your horses and to like, you know, save you know, a couple attacks, keep a couple attacks back. So this is obviously what I went with for a more free-to-play-ish setup. And I'm going to tell you right now that this is not set in stone anywhere. This is just kind of how I feel you should play. And the reason why I said you should bring stuns is because your role as a breaker is kind of stuns in a way, isn't it? Because when you break something, that in a way is a stun. So that's why I say breakers should focus more on the stuns. Obviously, you're going to have to coordinate with your party. You would have to coordinate with your party to make that work. That's not always going to work in the future. But as we get more cards that might be available, you know, with more setups later on. And, you know, I'll be updating these guides as cards come out. So, and as, you know, way different strategies come out. But for right now, I do say try to bring a stun along if you're playing as this role, you know, a breaker, if you can. If not, and you need to focus more on just breaking and staying alive, then by all means, absolutely focus on breaking first and foremost. Focus on surviving the battles first and foremost, because that's what's most important in these multiplayer matches, especially as a breaker. Check out the HP. I've got 5,227 HP. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this low HP. Honestly, let me just get into it right now. You're going to want to bring something to just on your own to as a barrier against damage. So what I mean by that is I'm using the Cindy card. If you're coming into the game a little late or you missed the event, you're not going to have access to the Cindy card. That's why I haven't been using it in a lot of my videos. But just to show you, what you would want to use instead is, honestly, I would recommend Haste, and I would recommend Boost. And if you don't have a Cindy card, and what Cindy adds is Haste and Barrier. So it's going to give you some form of defense there. And that is phenomenal. But if you can't use that and you're coming in late or you missed the event, like I was saying, bring Haste. Go ahead and bring some form of Haste. But instead of this just random debuff card that I'm using here, go ahead and bring do I want to say Barrier? No. Well, no. I'm sorry. I kind of lost track of thought there. This is where you would want to bring your defensive poo-poo. In this case, we're going to be fighting Shiva. So I would say bring this setup here if you don't have that Cindy card. But since we have the Cindy card, that's why I'm not going with the water poo-poo in that slot. If you know that your healer really has his thing down and you know you're going to be well defended, then you probably, you might not need this, or if you're going with a defender, you might not need this card in particular either. But, for pug matches, for pickup groups, I would say, if you have no other form of defense, make sure you're bringing something to soften those blows that you're going to be taking. So, in our case, I actually decided to go with, I know it's kind of random, but I went with D-Barrier just because having things debarriered adds so much damage, and a lot of people don't bring it. And I also went with the Cindy card, obviously, because that card's pretty great. It's such a nice card to have. And of course, you gotta bring boost. You're the breaker. You need this card maxed out. You need it 6/6. Sorry, I have it 5/6, but I'm slacking here. And you're gonna want all the buffs on it because they do add. Eventually, you're gonna get attack ignition, which increases attack power for the next attack or ultimate by 50%. So you're gonna be able to set up some amazing damage there if you can get that card leveled up higher. So that's this is just what I've just been going with, just as like a safe setup for me in these battles. And you know, I'd say definitely focus on getting your haste off and your defense if you've got the Cindy card. If you don't have the Cindy card, still focus on getting your haste up. It's more worth it to me to have more turns in a battle than to have higher break power, because you can spread out your damages quite a bit. Oh, we got Ika Wog. Sorry if I said that name wrong, but welcome. He says hello. I say welcome and hello back to you. Welcome to the stream, buddy. I'm glad to have you here. If you have any questions, let me know. So we are going to form a party here. Oh my goodness. And it's available. Or the option is there, but it says it'll be available in 3 days. Whoa, 3 days. Wow. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into the 3-star battle here. F-Dash, welcome to the stream, buddy. F-Dash says, Robbie learning y'all something. Yeah. That's funny, F-Dash. That is actually pretty comical. And then we got Raymond Kurnia. Yeah, I think I said that right. Sorry if I said that wrong, but he says he's asking a question. Welcome to the stream, buddy. He says, why not Regalia instead of Cindy? I like the Regalia, but Regalia gives you 1 turn of Quicken, which is pretty great, actually. But I like that the Cindy gives you 3 turns of haste, which to me is gonna, I don't know, I can do a lot more with it than I can with the 1 turn of haste. The 1 turn of like a lot of turns, you know. Even though that is actually a good option, and it's you know, it's not a bad option at all. If that's what you got, then that's good. That's good still, because it's gonna give you a lot of turns, and you can definitely save those turns. I just like the Cindy because it does give you the barrier as well, and that barrier can be pretty nice, pretty nice. And we're probably gonna need it for this battle, as you'll all see. And of course, if anybody in the chat wants to join, you can. This is a public room here. And part of making your own party is just like checking out everything, all the members of your party, and making sure everybody's, you know, got some pretty decent equipment here. This is kind of a red flag here if you've got an attacker who doesn't have any fire attacks. You know, that's kind of worrying, because that attacker's not going to be able to do very much damage. And so that's something you want to, you know, be paying attention to. Our rogue here has the right setup here. He's got some pretty decent cards, but the attacker, you know, makes me want to cancel the party search. And that's something, you know, if you feel like there's a member of your party that's gonna hurt your chances at, you know, finding a decent party, then definitely feel good about canceling the party search and restarting it. You can say sorry. I wish there was a kind of a way you could leave a more detailed message, like your setup is wonky, bro. Like, can they make that stamp for me? If they can make that, I would be pretty happy. But for right now, I would just stick to, you know, saying like sorry, if possible. As you can see, I don't have sorry. I have whatever. That's the closest I have to sorry in my stamp collection. So, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's helpful to have sorry in there, or like a my bad, or nah, I like sorry better. So we check our teammates out here, and they look okay. They look pretty good, so we can go with this. We are in. We are going in strong here. Our healers got 2 Ariz, Cindy, and the Moogle card, so we're good there for sure. And let's see how we do here as our breaker. So you kind of want to go last as a breaker. I know I kind of say that as like every job, but just let your healer go first so they can generate hearts. And make sure you're going... You want to go last. Basically, you want to go last. We're going to go ahead. We're going to service. Actually, we're not going to service because I already saw that the healer had it in their inventory. So we're going to actually go with boost instead. We're going to start attacking Guardian B right off the bat. We can go ahead and use all our turns this turn because we know we're probably going to get some form of haste. And we did. So like I said, sometimes, usually the attackers will bring some form of a break power down. So I'm pretty happy that I went with D-Barrier here, because that's going to help a ton. And we also broke. So, one reason I really like Assassin as breaker is it breaks like a champ. Breaks like none other. We totally forgot to drive ice, so let's drive a little ice. And let's also focus on breaking Guardian A. As I said before, once something's broken, just leave it. Leave it for the attackers to hurt and to hit, and start hitting other stuff, because you kind of want to get everything as close to broken as possible to like set that up for the party. So break something and then move on as an attack, as a breaker. And also your auto attacks, your regular attacks are going to help with orb generation, so that's pretty dang helpful. Boom. Battle's just going beautifully smooth. And she gets her bar back up. I could have focused a little more on breaking her, but we're going to try to go last, because if we assassinate, we can definitely take a lot of that bar, if not all that bar. If someone has some kind of attack, that's what they're going to be able to do. There we go. That's kind of what I wanted there. Cups, I believe, is going to be using some kind of attack, so let's see how much of this bar we can get with our limit. Hopefully we can get that off and avoid death here, because we don't have much HP. Oh baby, that is a timely break right there. Such a beautiful break. Then you rely, you just hope for the party to do their best. Tear this thing apart. Let's see what happens here. See how much damage this party can really do here. Oh, and it's a done deal. It's totally a done deal. Beautifully done. Beautifully done, party. That was just gorgeous. And you know, that's a battle complete. So the other things I kind of didn't get into during that battle is the battle kind of goes at the breaker's pace when you're talking about doing these multiplayer battles, because you know, basically the attackers can kill stuff at the pace that you can break, and if the attackers can kill stuff at the pace that you can break, then you've got a perfect party set up. You've got just a beautiful thing going. You know, so try to make sure that that can happen. But watch what the party's doing. The main thing you want to do is break things, but don't just indiscriminately break things. Like, break things and make sure you're breaking them at the right time. Don't break things when you know the party has just, you know, murdered one, you know, sub-boss or something like that, and they don't have the orbs to do another attack run. So, you know, just be patient, work with your party. But as you can see, it's a lot of fun playing Breaker. Probably one of the funnest classes to play, honestly. It's one of those classes that a lot of players will wait till, you know, they're like have a really good understanding of the game to finally get into. And you know, it's for a good reason. And as you can see, if you watch what the party's doing really well, you're gonna have an awesome time. You don't have to worry about squat, and you know, you can murder stuff. As far as weapon choices go, I always almost forget to talk about this, but let's talk about it really quick before we go. I went with the Sargentanas X. The reason why is because it gives you the ultimate charger plus 2%, which is the main reason I'm using it. It also does give you prismatic draw plus 15%, which gives you 15% to draw a prismatic orb when you do your auto attacks. As you can see, it doesn't really, you don't see it too much, so you know, I don't know if I would recommend it just based off that, but the Azure I can't even say this. Azrael X is also a very good alternative. And it's what I was using before I started using this weapon. But it gives you the ultimate charger plus 2%, and then it gives you enhanced heal drive, which you know, you don't really need that, but it helps in a pinch. But what's really awesome about this weapon is the ultimate charger plus 2%. The reason I like that so much is because you're the breaker, and as a breaker you have to have, can't stress this enough, you need to have ultimate charger plus 2%. Don't go with one of these weird weapons that don't have it. Like, I was tempted to use the Kanjar X, which gives you life draw plus 20, but no. Don't go with something crazy like that. Don't go with something that's not going to help you. Make sure you go with something that's going to give you ultimate charger 2%, which is just amazing. Because it let us get that really perfectly timed break right at the end of that battle. And that battle couldn't have gone any better. That was just a perfect example of you know, how to effectively play Breaker role. So, if y'all have any questions, please let me know in the chat. Or, you know, if you catch this at a later time, please let me know in the comments. And I appreciate y'all coming by and watching. It's been an absolute pleasure playing with y'all and watching and you know, the banner and talking with y'all. It's been just awesome. And you know, we will be coming back to do some more videos very soon. And, you know, thank you so much for being here with me. I'll catch y'all on the very next episode. Make sure y'all hit subscribe if this video helped you out. Or, you know, share this video if, you know, you feel like this could help some of your Mobius mates, your fellow warriors of light. Either way, I will catch y'all in the next video, the next episode of Mobius Final Fantasy. So thank you for watching, and I will see y'all soon.